Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and sometimes the easiest way to learn something like game development is to break it down to the basics. That's why something like a virtual console is so popular. You may have heard of Pico 8. I did a video about fantasy consoles in the past. This is basically a stripped down mini computer that you can run code inside of. You can see really stripped down. You only have 32K of memory available. You got 4 channels of sound. You use Lua as a programming language. You got a very stripped down CPU. It's all virtualized in software. So this gives you this limited, constrained environment so you can just learn the basics of game development on a simple, straightforward system. One of the most popular fantasy consoles out there is something called Pico 8. And I believe Pico is what inspired today's topic because it is also called Pico. This is Pico GPU. Now, the entire idea behind this is it's a small app for learning and experimenting with GPU programming. So if you want to learn shaders and you don't want to get into the complexity of it, this is a very stripped down subset. Now, this is coming from a fellow by the name of Nicolas Cannasse. I probably pronounced that last name wrong. It is a French name. But this is a fellow of some importance in the world of game development. Specifically, he is the creator of Haxe. Haxe is a very cool programming language. I've long been a fan of it. I've done tutorial series of it in the past. And some of my favorite games, including Dead Cells, were created using the Haxe programming language. In fact, as far as a programming language goes, this one is very focused on the world of game development. In fact, the same fellow that created the language Haxe also founded the company Shiro Games. Now, Shiro Games make their games using the Haxe programming language. And their games, what do they have? Well, things like War Tales, Dune Spice Moors, Evoland, Northgard, etc. So all of these titles were created using the Haxe programming language, as well as other things they've created, such as heaps and so on. So this is a guy that lives, breathes game development. And now we have Pico GPU. Now, this is a small project that he created. Entire idea behind it you can see right here. Pico GPU is a 300 kilobyte memory GPU intended to learn, experiment, and have fun with shaders. It is perfect to easily create small demos or games involving rendering, 3D rendering. It can also provide GPU-based sound synthesis. So it's stripped down to its core as you can get. And it is very stripped down. What are you dealing with here? You're definitely not dealing with an RTX 5090. What you're dealing with here is a 640 by 480 resolution screen with 24-bit color depth and 8-bit stencil buffer, 300 kilobytes of GPU memory to load your models, textures, code, and shaders. So you're dealing with 300 kilobytes. Definitely a constricted environment. And then you also got 4 channels for mono sound. You've got complete support for Vertex and Fragment buffers, and it supports blending, culling, depth, stencils, color masking, clipping. It supports render targets and instancing, math matrix, vector, and quaternion support. And then what you can do is you actually save your creation out as a PNG file that you can ship off to somebody else. So the cool thing, all the data of the code you created is actually saved as an image that you can send over to a friend who then can load said PNG file and see your code. So you can share the products around as a perfectly valid image, which is kind of a neat way of distributing things. And you can see here, documentation-wise, good documentation, kind of walks you through all of the functions, all of the logic available, a couple of different examples to get things up and going. But the nice thing is you're going to find some examples here as well. Now, what you're going to find here, there are download versions. This brings you over to the GitHub repository. By the way, this is also a completely open source project. The only problem I have is right now, this is only for Windows, and this is currently missing a required DLL. So that is a bit of a challenge. So if you build it yourself from code, you should be good to go, or you can just run it in the web browser like I am about to do right now. I also reported that missing dependency to the author, so hopefully it gets fixed in an updated version. Again, this is very early on. This is a 0.1 release. So what is this all about? Well, let's say you want to learn the basics of graphics programming. You have that functionality here. And it's broken into really 3 different categories you want to be aware of. You can think of code. This is your CPU. This is your main game loop. So here, update. This is going to be called every loop. This is Haxe code, by the way. So this is very straightforward. Basically, you're clearing out to a specific color. So I could come in here and change that out, and there you see the background color changed out accordingly. So this is just clearing the background. Then you're rotating, setting the camera to that rotated amount. So this is the rotation going on right here. You're setting shader 0, and then you're passing in the light parameter to it, which is how we're calculating these shadows and so on going on here. And then you are drawing the buffer. What is the buffer? Well, the buffer was loaded right here, load buffer 0. So you're going to notice here you have memory. Memory is broken down into 16 different chunks of memory. Here is 0. This is buffer 0. And what you see here, this data right there, that is straight out just the coordinates of each vertices making up this cube. So you can just enter raw data like so. In here, you got a number of different options that you can work with. It's the kind of stuff that can go into memory, but it is a very raw direct access to the memory. So go back over here, you'll see again. So we load that buffer in right here, and that is ultimately what is being drawn on screen. That is the vertices and so on. But first we've got our shader that is being hooked up to it. How is that shader hooked up? Well, you see here, again, you have up to 16 different shaders here. This one right here is our one shader. So you can see here, it's basically updating the vertexes every frame. So every tick, this is going to call, this updates the position of each vertices passed in. So this will be called once for each vertice. And this is basically just rotating it based off of that updated camera position. And then over here, this is called for each potential pixel that is being drawn. So each pixel drawn on screen, and all this is doing is setting the color of it. So again, you can see here, this is based off of the lighting and the shadows. That's what's giving us our shadowing detail over here. I could just straight out override it. For example, here, output color equals vec4, and then I'll just make it red with full alpha, and then like so, and then boom, there you see the end result. The other thing you're going to notice here is you do get a full editing environment here. It actually has code suggestions, etc., or code completion to a certain degree. I find the editor extremely frustrating, by the way, just something to be aware of. So it gives you an idea of what this is all about. It's a very stripped down, to its core, interactive. You notice as I make a change on the fly, it immediately updates, like so. And if I change it into something that doesn't make sense, so let's change this to A, boom, you immediately get an error. It follows out the line. So it is being compiled on the fly as you go. So that is kind of cool. It gives you the ability to like basically play with it, break things, make things work, and so on. The other nice thing here is you're going to find over here in samples, there are a number of different examples here. So for example, here we have a hello world being drawn. And then once again, you see the code here for it. So once again, they're setting a shader out there. I don't know if this one uses any memory. No memory used here at all. But then we've got the shader here. This is the shader for, see here, text font, get, blah, 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 and draw. This is what's drawing your hello world. So if you want to learn the basics of shader programming, this could be a good pickup for you. And we've got other examples here as well. And I'm gonna end on this one because it actually gets really annoying fast. There's also audio programming here as well. So here you can see, and if I click, we play a different sound effect. This is being done with an audio shader. And you see like that. There's a couple of different shaders in here. So you can see you can have multiple different shaders going. And then here, again, raw memory, like so. And now I'm going to get out of that sample because, like I said, it gets very irritating. And here you can see a different example in action. And then, like, for example, we have this other one here, there with a texture. So there is drawing a textured cube here as well. And in that case, what you're going to notice here is you've got a couple of different things going on there. So you got, I think that's UV coordinates, and that is the name of the texture itself. And then once again, if you want to share these with someone, just basically do a save. It will save it as a ping file like so. So let's go ahead here, drop that on my desktop, and then boom. And then if someone wants to give you something and go ahead and check it out, you can get it the same way, load it in, and then boom, you're now running it. So it's straightforward to share and go with these things. Again, full documentation of what is going on here. It does give you just a nice little learning environment to play with shaders. And shaders are one of those concepts that can be a little bit tricky, and this strips it down to the absolute basics. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. This is Pico GPU. Once again, this is an open source project. I don't know if he put a license in here for it. I don't think he has yet. Hopefully he does soon. Again, this just launched. If you like what he's done here, do drop him a star. It is an interesting project. Again, written in the Haxe programming language. There is a release. Like I said, there is currently an issue with a DLL missing. Hopefully that does get resolved soon. Or again, if you have a Haxe toolchain set up, you can go ahead and learn it. And the code for this entire project, everything that you're working with here, like for example, here is the GPU code. The entire GPU is being implemented in software as in the Haxe programming language. And if you've used pretty much any modern language like Java, C#, JavaScript, ActionScript, any of those things, you will be immediately comfortable with Haxe. It's a very straightforward language in that regard. So ladies and gentlemen, that is Pico GPU. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.